Imagine that.
They keep you waiting.
Somebody's going to be adding him to the stage. There he is.
Yeah, there he is. Oh, thank God. God, we can continue now.
Good BC boy. Good BC boy.
How you guys doing?
Nice to see you.
Doing? Nice
Doing
to
good,
see you
Joel.
too.
Doing great. Thanks for this, mate. Listen, very quickly, I won't put you in the spot. I won't tell you who should be taking the gloves for Canada. You know, Max or Dane or Jaden or James Pantemis. But you play with James, right? Obviously in Montreal. Tell us what his strengths are as a goalkeeper. I know he's obviously moved on since then, but give us your thoughts, your scouting of James Pantemis.
Yeah, James is he's one of my best friends. So he's great with his feet, first and foremost. He can play. So I think now with the modern day goalie, you have to be able to play with your feet the way teams play out the back. So that's his main strength. I think he's a shot stopper too. I mean, he can save basically anything. Sometimes he takes a little bit of two risks, I would think, for a goalkeeper. And as a center back, he gave me a couple of heart attacks when I played with him. But yeah, all around great dude too. And yeah, I'll let you guys discuss more of the goalie controversy there. But yeah, very talented goalie who is put himself in a good position now to be a part of next year and years to come.
So you're saying he should be number one?
No, I'm not
That's the quote. That's the quote we're pulling, Joel.
But it is a controversy.
To put it to bed, I think I would be comfortable with anybody. I think our goalkeeper units are extremely competitive, and I feel safe with anybody back there. So
yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, Joel, we're here to talk about you anyway, so we'll move on right now. Just now, we're talking about you are the poster boy for the pathway in Canada, CPL to MLS, the national team. But it has been, I guess, a pretty crazy week for you with the move to Chicago. First of all, were you shocked, and how did you learn about the trade?
No, I wanted it. I think it was my time to go. I think I've done everything I could in Montreal, and I had a great 5 years there. It was unbelievable. Like you said, like they signed me from the CPL. They took a chance on me. It was a bittersweet moment because even talk to my therapists and staff members, they're like, we saw you come in as a kid and now you're leaving as a man. I'm engaged. I got other things going on. Like, so when they said that, it really put things in perspective. But yeah, I think in football, sometimes you need to decide just fresh starts, especially for me before the World Cup. I think I needed a new scenery, a new challenge, something to bring that passion back a little bit. And I'm very, very happy with how it kind of went down and how the club treated it. And yeah, I'm just so excited to get started. I actually haven't even played yet for Chicago since I didn't get my visa in time before I left, and now I'm here. So I'll have about, I think, 5 or 6 games when I come back, but I knew about it. It wasn't a surprise, which was, I think, a good thing. I could kind of prepare for it. So yeah, another bittersweet moment, but in football, you kind of have to decide those things. And, you know, I have a lot of guys here who obviously went through big transfers this year who I could kind of go and talk to and see what it's like. It's not as fun as it sounds when people get traded. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes you have to organize, but I'm really looking forward to my time in Chicago coming up.
How much did Julia Grosso have to do with it?
She was the main reason, because my fiance would not give the green light unless it was Chicago or maybe even Vancouver because of obviously my home city. But yeah, she was a big factor in the decision. So my fiance is very happy.
So how does it work in an MLS trade? Obviously, you get the call, you pack your bags, you're on the flight. Who meets you at the airport? Is it straight to the training ground at that point? Like, what's the deal?
No, I found out, I think it was about 2 days left in the window. I was actually at training that morning. And it's funny because you go through these trade windows and sometimes there's jokes in the locker room of, you know, guys coming in, oh, I got traded. So when I first told my teammates, no one believed me. They were like, yeah. They just continued working out and they didn't believe me. But yeah, it's basically a call. You know, the owners kind of bring you up in the offices and kind of, obviously this time around I knew it was coming, but they pull you from training and I was on a flight 4 hours later. So straight to the hotel for a couple of weeks before I came here. But it happens quick, and then you got to kind of sort your life out. But like I said, I kind of knew about it before, so I could kind of prepare for it, and that's how it happened.
What is it? I'd like to talk a little bit about your pathway, because it is kind of the modern Canadian potential pathway that you've taken. You made all the steps. You were the Rovers, and obviously university as well. Was it Trinity and Aldergrove, I think. and then moving to Montreal, like you've made these steps, and every time you've done that, you've seemed to manage it. What is the biggest challenge that you've had every step you've had? Is it the pace of the game in Major League Soccer, or what is it for you that made a difference from playing for Calgary?
Yeah, I think you said it. I think the pace of play. I think as you go up levels, obviously I haven't played in the top clubs in Europe, but I've heard it's the pace. It's the pace at which you play, the speed, just how much cleaner technically. And I really saw that from the CPL to MLS jump in my first year was a lot. Even so, I started thinking to myself, man, was I actually even ready for this? I was still actually fairly older at that time. I was 22, and I really thought, damn, like this might have happened a bit too quick because the pace was just that much better. Obviously, I had Thierry Henry as my coach in my first year, and he demanded a lot. And but yeah, I would say the pace of play. And as you go up a level and even coming to the national team in 2022 and playing with guys obviously playing for Juventus and Bayern and these top clubs in the world, and you have to adapt again. And I think one of my main strengths as I've gone through is that adaptation and just working hard, going into video, on the training pitch, doing things consistently over and over and over. I don't think there's any, sexy way of doing this stuff. You just got to put in the work, and I've done that. And now I put myself in a good position, obviously, for next summer, hopefully. But I just take it day by day and just keep doing that and adapting and learning and being better every day.
Is it fair to say that with the advent of the CPL and you jumping aboard the CPL and then getting that move, if not for that league, do you think you'd be where you are now? What was that pathway, that step in the pathway key?
No. Like it came around, obviously I think you guys know this better than anyone in your careers. I think you need a bit of luck along the way too. I think, it was my last year at university at Trinity. People say, oh, you want to go overseas, but obviously Canada soccer wasn't even as big as it is now at that point. So I really didn't know what to do. It was just something I said to people because it sounded good. And I wanted to chase a footballing dream. I just didn't know how to do it. I was kind of young and I was naive. And then in my last year, the CPL came around. Literally in that November, they had their, the little U Sports draft there. And I actually said no. I talked to Tommy, I talked to the CPL, and I said, no, I don't want to be a part of this. Because I had no idea what it was. Like the CPL, oh, you're going to get drafted here. I was like, no, like I don't want to put myself in that position. I don't know what it's going to be like, how it's going to work out. And someone from the CPL called me and kind of convinced me, and I talked to Tommy and they convinced me to go in the draft. He's like, no, like, don't worry, we'll draft you this round, this number. And it was kind of set in stone then because it was the first go around. So I ended up joining it. And then, obviously I played with Foothills a couple of years before that. So they knew about me. So I went there and, without the CPL, I definitely would not be where I'm at because I didn't even know Montreal was looking at me during the season. We played them in Canadian Championship that year and I was injured. I broke my toe, so I didn't even get to play. They didn't see me live. So like I said, it was a chance they took, and it happened literally 2 months before COVID. So if it happened any later, or it wouldn't have happened any later after COVID for sure. So very, very lucky and blessed that it happened when it did, and God's timing was perfect.
And at that point in your career, are you thinking a few years kind of projecting ahead that you would be a mainstay on the men's national team? Was that always something that you aspired to be a part of? Like, what were your ambitions when you were just coming into the CPL or coming out of U Sports?
Yeah, I literally had a vision board of different things that I set out to do, and I had 2026 on the board, and which is unbelievable because I was obviously there in 2022. Obviously wasn't lucky enough to be on the pitch, but just to see and be there for that, like, it was incredible. I talk about my family all the time. My dad always goes, yeah, you've obviously accomplished a lot, which is great, but everything now is bonus. Like, I just think I'm so grateful to be in the position I'm in, and everything from now on. I've done so much, and I'm so blessed to be, a part of these different teams and have the career I've had so far. Everything is just kind of bonus. So just enjoy it. So yeah, it's pretty amazing to kind of look back. I don't want to look back yet because there's still a lot I want to accomplish, but so it was kind of funny. I had 2026 written on my board, and I was able to go in 2022, and I'm hoping 2026 is still an option.
It's still there.
Was appearing on this podcast on the vision board anywhere?
Yeah, actually, my dad is a big fan of the show. I'm not lying. He texted me his time. So they're 7 hours behind. He's like, yeah, I heard you're going on Footy Prime tomorrow. And I had no idea at the time. John didn't tell me. And he's like, yeah, he knew about it before I did. So he's
well, Mr. Waterman is
Awesome.
obviously a very wise man.
yeah,
He knows great content when he hears it and sees
I was
it.
going
So
to hear what they said on Footy Prime about this, and this. I said, no, I didn't get a chance to listen to it.
Hey, on another note, do you dye your beard?
No, I don't.
Oh, come on.
Guess who does, Joel?
He's
Neither
just
do I.
started. Craig's just started.
Yeah.
Jimmy gave me a little almond dip.
Yeah.
Okay.
I touched him up the other day.
Mine's redder and redder every day. My dad has red hair. My brother has red hair. So I got the red
So does
beard.
Jimmy.
I do as well. I have a little bit of ginger in my beard.
Yeah.
I think I should. Pretty patchy right now. So going back to your childhood, then football obviously is a huge part of it. What leagues, what clubs were you brought up through?
Yeah, so both my parents played. Not at a very high level. They were both very good, and my sister and brother both played until they were about 14. Then they kind of did their own things, and I just continued with it. Basically went from Aldergrove youth soccer until U11. Then it's a small town, so it kind of got a bit smaller for me. So then I went to Langley United. I ended up playing a couple years up just because I wanted to see the pace of the game, like we kind of talked about before, bigger kids. So I kind of had to adjust to that. Then I went to Surrey United when the HPL came around. When I was 15, from U15 to 18. And then from there, I went to school. I went to Trinity for 5 years. And along the way in the summers, we needed football in the summers because it's such a short season. So I went to the PDL. I played for Foothills, TSS Rovers, Kitsap Pumas down in Washington, just to try and play football all year round. And then from there, straight to the CPL. And then Montreal and now Chicago. And in there was BC provincial teams from U13 to 18. So I got to go to the Canada Summer Games and experience all that kind of stuff. So had a stint with the Whitecaps when I was 18, but that was when like Fonzie and Sam Matakubi were a part of it. And I was like, whoa, like I was not ready for that at 18. I was kind of a late bloomer. I was a small kid. But yeah, that was a good 2-week period I was there. And I actually had a stint with the Sounders in my third year university because I was maybe going to leave school, but I was there for like a month. They kept me there for a month and almost signed for their second team, but decided school was probably better just to finish my degree and kind of finish that out. And yeah, all those different teams showed me different things about myself. And my breakout year was probably when I was 20 down in Kitsap. I didn't even want to play for them. And I went for the tryout. My mom was like, go do it. Went to the tryout, had a really good tryout. Stayed there for a summer, and that's when I really grew as a kid. I had a English coach named Cammy McDonald who really pushed me and kind of showed me and what a man's game was like at that time, and just so many different lessons from different coaches who kind of made me the player I am today.
Did you grow late as well? Like, was it a spurt that you had later in your teens?
Yeah. When I was probably 15, 16, 17, that range, I really started to grow. And my dad was 6'2", my mom was like 5'10", so they were a bit taller. I had to grow into my body. I was lanky. My legs were going everywhere, and I had to really, focus on strength stuff and kind of catch up to my body.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, it was not fun. It was not fun, but yeah, that's kind of you can't control those things, right? So you just got to do it the best way you have. And that was when I was playing midfield too. Yeah, I forgot my midfielder days of playing 6 and 8. I played that throughout university, a little bit in the CPL, and then in the CPL I became a true center back. And Tommy actually made that move for me because he just as a modern day center back, again, you have to be able to be good with your feet. So as a 6, I was good with my feet. So adaptation in that way too. And yeah, if you would have told me I was playing center back at this age in the MLS national team when I was like 15, 16, I would have probably laughed in your face. So it's interesting.
Did that playing in midfield help you adapt to the backs or knowing the differences and the nuances of the positions?
Definitely. I think it's relatively, I don't want to say the same because as a 6, you have to look everywhere behind you, forward, sideways, center back, everything's kind of in front of you. So that was easy to adjust with the feet, but the defending part, you're the last man back. You're the last line of defense. So you can't make any mistakes. As a 6, you have your back 4, back 5 behind you. So I really had to adapt in my game on the defensive side of the ball for sure, and which I'm still doing to this day. Things I want to improve. And but yeah, with the feet, it was a pretty, I wouldn't say easy transition, but it was almost better in a way because I could see everything in front of me. I could start the attack. I could kind of set the tempo of the game, which I love to do as a midfielder. So, yeah.
There's some real depth these days at centre back for Canada. Obviously, you have Moise Bambita, who knows how good he can become. You have Derek Cornelius, just moved to Rangers. Jamie Knight-Labelle. Luke DeFogerel is kind of the new shiny thing right now that everyone's talking about. Like, how good can this kid be? He's still so young.
Yeah, and rightfully so. He's amazing. When I see him play with his stature, his ability on the ball, his ability to defend, he fully deserves where he needs to be at right now. And for him, I'm glad he went to Denver for game time. I'm glad, a lot of our guys made moves to get game time. I think that's the most important thing and kind of something Jesse stresses a lot. And he's only, 18, 19?
Yeah, around there, isn't he? 18, 19 maybe?
He's unbelievable. I was not like that at that age. So, I'm glad our depth is talked about because it was something of kind of emergency in the past where people, maybe that was the weakest part of our team, if you want to call it that. But we always knew we had quality and depth in that position, and we've gotten better in that position, and we've had to find different guys to kind of step in, and it's been really competitive, which I think is the best thing about it. And it's been good to see. Obviously I played a couple games of Gold Cup. Luke's come in. Jamie came in at Gold Cup a little bit. We need everybody to get high level minutes and to kind of see where everything's at. So yeah, it's really competitive, but we all push each other and we're all there for each other. That's the most important thing.
Speaking of those defensive partnerships, when you were making the transition under Tommy, moving from a midfielder to a center back, was there somebody that you played alongside that taught you what you needed to do in order to excel in that position?
Yeah, I would say Mason Trafford. I think he was big. He was, he got injured, I think, a couple of days before the start of the season in 2019. So it was me and Dominic Zator who were starting in a back three. I think Jay Wielden was a part of that too. But Mason, I remember just taught me to say, yeah, listen to him, be a sponge. He's been to a lot of good teams. He's played at a lot of good levels, listen to him in these positions, on the ball, off the ball, different stuff like that. Tommy was obviously big in that. So yeah, I would say Mason Trafford. I always used to ask him questions about different stuff, and Jay Wielden too. They knew a lot of probably the savviness of the game and when to draw a foul and just different things that aren't really talked about and people see on the pitch. And communication is so important as a center back, putting people in the right position so you don't have to do as much work, I think is the best skill I think a center back could have. So yeah, he was great.
Talking about the depth within Canada, yeah, you still get called up. Jesse loves you. He talks about leadership and vocal leadership. He says it over and over again. Even this past week, he was talking about it. Is it a quiet room, generally speaking, this Canadian national team, would you say?
I don't think I would call it a quiet room. I think, I love to talk. I love to talk on the pitch. I think it's easiest that way. But you also don't want to have things that fall on deaf ears and guys just saying stuff for no reason. I think a lot of guys on our team say things at the right moment, and it's more their personality. So I think the most important thing is letting guys be who they are. That's something I had to realize even this last year in Montreal and years past. Some guys are just who they are, and you have to let them be that way because that's going to bring the best out of them. You can't really force, because I talk and I'm like this, you have to be that way. I think the different kind of personalities are what makes this team amazing. And we're still trying to work on the on-field stuff, I think, communication-wise, which I think can always improve. But guys are starting to come out of their shells and really, like JD, for example. Obviously, you guys know him as a probably a quieter guy, but when he says something, everyone shuts up and listens, right? So everyone kind of goes about it in a different way, and it's kind of realizing, okay, this is his personality. Just let him be who he is. And I think Jesse's done a great job of that too.
And training, has that been intense with Jesse this time around? I mean, I know it is sometimes, but I wasn't wondering because everybody's sort of in the swing of things playing in Europe. MLS is up running. How is that as far as training goes with Jesse Marsh?
Yeah, it always is. I think that's one of our core identities as a team. You see the way we press. You see the way we we are in the game, we have to train like that, or else we won't be able to do it in the game, right? So I think it's obviously this first couple of days when guys travel so far. I know for me, I don't even know what time it is now. My body, yeah, just different stuff like. We have to keep it intensive because that's just the way we play. So if we don't do it in training, more people do it in a game. And I think the hardest thing is these games are quote unquote friendlies. So I think not having a major competition before the World Cup, but we have to treat it like that. These games against Romania, Wales, we want to win these games. We have to win these games, and we have to be as intensive as we can, even though it doesn't mean anything on a score sheet or whatever it may be, but they do mean the world to us. And we know we only have 3, 4, 5 windows left before the World Cup, so it's now we're kind of ramping up another level, and just we had a meeting today and just kind of stressed that too. So it's going to be intensive as it always is.
Almost out of time here, but when you're not on the training pitch or at the stadium, are you still watching football? Are you one of those players that has to just absorb everything possible? And if so, what leagues, what teams, what players?
Yeah, always. Like, I'm one of those guys, like, I'm obsessed with it to a point where it's like my fiance is like, no, where you're not staying in on a Saturday morning. We're going for a walk. Like, we're not watching Liverpool. Liverpool's my team.
The walk. Oh, that boy, nice.
Yes.
I knew I liked you.
Yeah. Amy and I have that in common. Yeah, James. But yeah, Liverpool's my team. So I watch the EPL. I watch La Liga. I watch MLS games. I watch CPL games. Still, I love watching CPL. So I'm that guy because I used to watch it as a kid, right? Like, Saturday morning soccer was like a thing in our house, and that's how I learned, I think, a lot without even knowing it. Like, I didn't watch just for the entertainment value and the goals. I watched, like, my dad would be like, oh, what's this 6 doing? How is this 8? How is he moving on the pitch? What's he doing? Is he looking? Is he doing this? Like, it was kind of a way for me to learn, and I didn't even know it. Just watching the best players in the world do it. So that's definitely helped me to this day.
Do we have time for a quick rapid fire?
Yeah,
because
we've got
Wonger would be really
3 minutes
pissed.
max here.
Okay.
Or John's going to kill us. So yeah.
Okay. Well, Wonger would kill us if we didn't get it in.
Yeah,
So this
he
is
would.
your dad will know, Joel, that this is usually Wonger's job. So I'll do my best Wonger impression. So this is okay. So get to know me with Joel Waterman on Footy Prime. So in 30 days, you're starring in a new Family Guy live action as Peter Griffin. What's your go-to junk food to reach your goal and put on the weight?
Oh, chips. My favorite thing in the world is chips. Yeah. Bad for a footballer, but it's true.
I love the chips myself. Okay,
Yeah.
if you're not listening to contemporary music like Drake or Taylor Swift, what decade of music is playing in your earbuds?
I actually recently just started listening to Otis Redding.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Him, Amy Winehouse a little bit. Yeah. Bryce Duke, actually, he has like a morning coffee playlist, and he sent it to me. So I've been listening to that lately and stuff like that. So it's good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What MLS team do you love to play against?
When I was with Montreal, that was an easy question. TFC. But now I would say I like playing Orlando.
Any particular reason?
I think because, especially away, because we go there and it's so hot. So the game is a bit slower. So if we're on the ball, we get a lot of the possessions. So I get to the ball a lot more, which is nice.
Okay.
Nice.
If you weren't playing football, what sport would you be playing professionally?
Golf.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
my second favorite sport. I love golf.
Forrest loves that too.
Yeah.
Well, we already covered this. Your favorite club growing up and why, right? It's Liverpool. We just skip over this.
Steven Gerrard. Yeah, he was my favorite player.
Yeah, me too. Love Stevie G. You get to meet your sports hero. Who was it and why?
That's a tough one. There's a lot. Probably. That's a tough one. It has to be. I was gonna say LeBron James because I love watching him play, but then I'll probably have to say Steven Gerrard for footy reasons. Obviously, just being at I wouldn't want to go to Anfield and just walk around the pitch with him and have a conversation.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
You have a week off. Where are you vacationing?
Probably Shuswap Lake. There's a lake.
Oh, I love that place.
Yeah, near Kamloops. It's about an hour past Kamloops.
Yeah, Salmon Arm.
Yeah, my family goes there every year, but I unfortunately haven't been there in 7 years because of my career. Obviously, we don't get the summers off, but That's like our spot.
Okay, foodie question. Shawarma, butter chicken roti, or meatball sub?
None.
Poutine?
No, I'm not
Not
really
even?
a foodie. I'm not a guy that tries different things and different
Just
cuisines.
chips.
Like I like my exactly. No, I like my diet and my structure pretty just whole foods like chicken, like just stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last one. What MLS player drives you nuts on the pitch?
Richie.
Of course, Richie.
Of
I watched
course.
the game. I watched the game 2 nights ago, and he drew like 5 yellow cards. I'm like, bro, like, no, that's him. That's how he gets in the game, and he plays at his best when he's like that. And for us too, it helps us too. So I can't complain. But yeah, Richie, I love playing him because it's like he does that, and then after the pitch, we have a big hug, and it's like nothing ever happened, you know. So he can separate the two, which is good. But yeah, Richie, yeah.
And is it exactly the same energy like in national team camp and training, or he takes it down a notch?
No, I don't think he can. Like that's the way he is. But then off the pitch, he's like one of my favorite people. So
True. That's so true.
Amazing. We've kept you almost too long, but thank you for playing. Get to know me on
that was
Footy
great.
Prime, or else Wonger would have killed me. Thank you.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Joel.
Thanks so much, Joel. Yeah,
doing
good luck coming
Thanks,
up.
Joel.
And that was a great chat. Well, let's get you back on at some point.
Yeah, please. I would love to. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks, Joel.
good luck in Chicago.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That
So,
is
yeah.
Joel Waterman of Canada and Chicago. Great chat. We've got some personalities in Canada.
We really do.
Speaks for a lot, right? And I know, like I said, Jesse mentions about leadership and all this. There's a reason why Joel gets called up all the time, other than he's a very good player. But I think Jesse appreciates that vocal type of leadership, a guy that will talk, keep that room loose, right?
Yeah, they've got some character about them. There's no question about it. We're in a good place.
And I think specifically to Joel, and we were talking about his career and how it's still ascending and the different steps that he's taken and adapting, he's shown himself to be extremely adaptable, right? And then you look at the different coaches that he's played under. He talked about Thierry Henry, you think about Wilfred Nancy, Donadel, Courtois, like all the John Herdman, now Jesse Marsh, and everything that he has in his toolbox tactically, but how he's adapted his game within that, right? That he can apply now. So you go from being called in regularly to national team. Can he take another step? I think that's what coaches see in him, is that the leadership qualities are there, but it's also a player who now he's not old, but he's older. And he's continuing to be malleable and just present and willing to change and adapt when needed.